if we would know who we really are, I think it would be easier for us to bind together and to take our country back, take our land back, take our children back, take our family back. You know what I mean? Everything that is taken away, we can get it back. The people that the Bible called Israelite,
Yes.
and the Hebrew, that were black people.
And the Jews.
That were black people, and those people are the Jew. When you talk about real Jew, are the people that most people now today call them maroon. When the Creator showed himself to Daniel, that was what he showed. Hair like wool, eyes like fire, legs like brass. That only match a black person. A black person is the one that have hair like wool. I'm bald-headed, but it's still here. A black person is the one that have legs like brass. I mean, everything you check out of his description is what fit and the black race. So if God should really describe himself as he described it in Revelation, again, he would align up with the black race. President Putin have it out there, screaming out loud and clear that the man they're talking about, Jesus, is a black man, even though he don't know the right name either, but he still know the truth. He says it's a black man. The man that they call Jesus is a black man. And I know that Putin know the truth. His men go in there and do the research for him and bring him back the truth, and he know it. Yes. So black people need to really respect themselves. Hello. Why yo? Why yo? Why yo? That was a suffering pain. Yes. And true, we were sold by our brothers. We were sold into slavery, carried away by ships to different parts of the world. We end up in place that we did not know where we were. We just had to take the slave master name and whatever he said. We was like a handicap. And so we get scattered, and we get lost, and we get weak, and we like come to nothing. But we need to wake up and smell the coffee. It did not have to be this way. It's our own carelessness caused us to be the poorest, the lowest on the earth. Why? Never can rise. It's the hardest thing on this planet for a black man to rise up. Yes. Sometimes when one happened, you wonder how did it happen? How did he get up? Because it's not an easy thing for a black man to rise up to anything. You was black by a red tape. For anything that would help you to go up, the red tape would be against you. So, and up until now, we still have that dirty problem that keep us down. I blame it more on the black race, because when it started out, it was not that way. We learned to sell each other, and that was bad. For a man handcuff his own brother and sell him for a fool. Cut out the Obia man. Cut him out. Cut the Obia man out. Forget him. Cut him off and make the business dry up. Everybody should have stopped with Obia man until them close the door. Yes, dry it up. Use the money where you can go give Obia man. Put together and build business together. Have an agreement how you share the profit, and share the profit in a fair way. and you don't have to fight. Just share the profit right. And you can do business together, and you could own Home Depot like the American white. You could own Walmart like the American white, where you have them on every corner in every town. But you alone can't do that. But we together can do anything we want to. We could do it together. I'd like to have a little school, and may God help me to do that, where I can sit the young down and teach them how to rise up and do business together and not to fight against each other, share the profit fairly, and the children is going to come up. So if the one that come up under my teaching, their children will be already doing good, and by the time it get to their grandchildren, they'll be doing great, and by the time it get to the great-grand, they'll be doing greater still. But we have to start from somewhere. This mess need to break.
Alright everybody, yeah man, we're there upon our next interview with the brother who say with the dream and the prophecy what the Most High bless him for say, you know. So we are interviewing him now to find out more details of him background, and I hear about him Hebrew background, you know, and we want some knowledge upon this, you know. So we could interview and find out what's going on. Greetings again, brother.
Greetings again to one and all. All right, you want to know a little bit about my African research?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, living in the US, it was a good opportunity for me to get over to Africa, because now I end up having friends living in Jerusalem. So I would get in there and spend some time with them, and then they would take me all over the land. This is one of the things I bring back from there. It's a ram goat horn. It's come from the mountain goat. And they use this as a trumpet, otherwise known as a shofar. So this thing can be blown, and they blow it at certain time. They blow it for the Sabbath, which they call the Shabbat. And they blow it for new moon, and they blow it for the feast days, and all them kind of special days they blow it. And it have a fragrance in there. It smell of the ram, and each time you blow it, the smell gets stronger in there. So it's a very unique thing. They said the creator told them that they should make the horn out of the ram. But it's a big experience going through that land. You have a lot to learn in there. I get to learn that that land belongs to everyone on earth. Africa is the mother for the earth. The first man was created in Africa, and every human being on the planet come from that one man. Therefore, every man is from Africa, and the evidence are there in the land. They have the sign and everything to prove. And the truth, people are so lost in the outskirt world. You really have to go in there where you can see some things to learn the truth. They really show you off God. I mean, they really trick some people and really turn them into a fool. That some people don't even know who they are, or how they get here, how they come here. That's a shame for you to be in a place and you don't know who you are, where you are, I mean, you're a completely lost person. It's good to know your grassroots. Which part you come from. At least, even if you don't know where you're going, you should at least know where you come from. It's like you don't have any sense if you don't know where you come from. You know, but Africa, a yard. Africa is not just my yard, it's everybody's yard. Everybody should respect Africa. It's the oldest city on earth. It's the first inhabitants on the land before anywhere else on earth was inhabited. Africa give birth to the first life, the first man, the first woman. Africa give birth to that. So I have all respect for Africa. If there is no Africa, there will be no other part of the world. So that's a land to really learn from. I tell you, one day you have to come over and let me show you the rest of stuff that I bring back from there. I normally try to go once a year, but when the corona hit, it slowed me down because they want me to take a vaccine to fly over there, and then I didn't want to take a vaccine, so that slowed me down. When I get ready again, now they start fighting. Hamas start firing missiles, and now have a war going. But there is still a lot more in that land to learn. I believe the greatest experience on earth is Africa. If you can't learn about Africa, I don't think you should learn about anywhere else. Africa is the oldest experience. Africa is mama for everybody. Everybody should look at Africa and say, Mama Africa. The mother for all. And that's what makes us one. Even though we don't like each other, that's not so good either. But still, even though we don't like each other, we are still one. We are one-man children. We look different, and it's supposed to be so. You know, we have to be ID, but we are still one. So, love each other and live for each other. We are one. And there is a lot more to learn. And going through the land, I go to places like the Red Sea that open up for the holy man Moses. Do you know there is a straight white line in the middle of the water, just like how you have a white line in the middle of the road? Yes, and it appears like it made from a white shadow. You could take some of the water up from the white line, but the white line would still be there. It's just water you get up, but it's there. It's a lot of miracles in the land. Everywhere something happened, there is also a sign there to say, yes, it happened here. Yes, walk in the tomb of Yeshua. They switch the name and call him Jesus. But that's not good. That's not good. Give the man the name that his father give him. His name is Yeshua. Yes, not Jesus. So one day we will get to the bottom of things one day, and we need to learn the truth and at least know who we are. It's very, very important that we know who we are. And our children should grow up not like us, but better than us. And we need to let our children grow up knowing who they are. They will learn to respect themselves better if they know who they are. I tell you the truth. The son of the president And the son of the prime minister will not find himself down the street in a corner bar. No. Him will go somewhere better. But he will not be hanging out in the common places because he know where he is coming from. So when our children know where they are coming from, they will learn a better way of respect. Yes. And they will also have people to respect them when they know who they are. I can't wait for our young people to wake up and learn who we really are. And that would make us strong and make us powerful if we know who we are. But many people is afraid of that. They do not want, especially black people, to know who they really are. What is the true identity? The black race was the first nation on earth. All the other nation comes after Abraham. When God promised the man that out of you I will bring forth many nations, it was one nation up until then. It was the black race. And every human being comes from the black race. Every nation comes from the black race. The white, the Chinese, the Indian, and you name it, all come from the black race. When it started out, we get cross-wired and differences mingling with each other and look different, but we are still one people. Different nation, but still one people. We are one man children. So guess what? I just learned from what I know to love my brothers and my sisters. It's just one love. And since we have to die, we die with love. Love is the style. So we're going to get together and I will show you some more things and I'll talk to you some more about my trip there and some of the things that I have seen. I walk into the man Abraham tomb. Yes, I've really circled out the land. I've been into Syria. I've been in Solomon Temple. You name it. I've been up on Mount Olive, Mount Carmel. I mean, all where the prophet trod through Capernaum and all those places. I do my research hard in that land. I was gone 6 o'clock in the morning and I was coming home at midnight. For 30 days, I'm doing that. That's a lot of trouble. Yes, and a lot of experience. But it teach me where we come from and what happened to us and why we are in this condition like we are in now. We are in bad shape that we shouldn't be into. But we need to learn what take us to the side that is not good, and so we could get away from it. But until we learn why we go down so low, we will never rise. If we learn what get us down there, we could find our way up. But we have to learn. We have to be humble, be nice to each other, and learn. A blessing will overtake us for that. And no one can stop you when you're blessed. When you're blessed from above, and no one can stop that. No powers on earth can stop your blessing when it's coming down from above. So that's where I look to for blessing, up above. Let it fall down. Yes. So one day we're going to catch up and we're going to talk about some more serious stuff too. All right? Cool. All right.
All right. Thanks again, brother. Cause we don't want to go a little deeper still in terms of what age you find out about your Hebrew heritage and like where were you and you know what influence?
I really was in the US when this happened, but when I was a little youth, I heard a preacher from out of town that we didn't know. I didn't know. But he was preaching in the church and preaching up a storm saying, I saw a new heaven and a new earth, a holy city, a new Jerusalem coming down from God out of heaven like a bride adorned to meet her groom. And I said, oh, so Jerusalem is up in heaven. And that embedded in my heart that the Jerusalem that people is talking about is up in the sky. But when I grow up some more, I get to realize that, really? There's a Jerusalem on earth? Plane can go there? Ship can go there? Yes, then why can't I go there? So, from then, I wanted to go to this place since they're talking so much about it, and all the big history that they're talking about is out of that land. I always want to go there, but it never happened. Never find it possible until when I was in the US. I run into friends from there, and we become good friends. And then they would pack me up and send me over there to the parents. And the parents would just call them and we have a friend coming. And they pick me up at the airport and they take me home. Oh, they treat me so good. It's the best treatment I've ever get since I've been on the earth. Yes. And they take me everywhere, and I learned so much. What I learned in 1 month in that place, I have not learned that in 70 years of my life. What I could learn in 1 month there. Because you're looking at what you're learning. So that make it easy to learn. You know, I could see things when I'm there. When I'm over here, I hear about things. You know, I read about things. But over there, I don't read, I don't hear, I see things. And nothing beat when you can see, you know better when you see. Yes. Yes.
So these friends, they were black people or white people?
Yeah, they're white people.
Okay.
They're white people.
So how did you find out about your heritage as a black man?
Do you know, Bob Marley is a big influence. He was saying some things that I really didn't understand. So I really get a chance to check them out and find out that yes, when Bob was saying this, he did not have technology. It was natural, physical learning, you know, that he researched and find out. And he was singing a song saying, if you know your history, you would know where you're coming from. And I get to find out that really he was so right, because I did not know that we were the most important people on earth. I thought we was the dogs from the slum, and we didn't deserve to be anything but worthless and undone. But that's not true. They just make it look that way, and we believe that, we swallow that, we eat that, and we digest that, and we get comfortable with that. But no, not anymore. For me, when I learned what Bob was saying, I realized he was right. One of the songs he did that impressive. The people go to the dance floor and they wind up the waistline and they make the move, but they still didn't understand what Bob was saying. Bob was saying, Buffalo soldier, dreadlock rasta, you were stolen from Africa, you were sold to America, fighting an arrival, fighting for survival. You know what I mean? And they ball out, why yo yo, why yo yo, why yo 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 yo. That was a suffering pain. Yes, and true, we were sold by our brothers. We were sold into slavery, carried away by ships to different parts of the world. We end up in place that we did not know where we were. We just had to take the slave master name and whatever he said. We was like a handicap. And so we get scattered and we get lost and we get weak and we like come to nothing. But we need to wake up and smell the coffee. It did not have to be this way. It's our own carelessness caused us to be the poorest, the lowest on the earth. Why? Never can rise. It's the hardest thing on this planet for a black man to rise up. Yes. Sometime when one happened, you wonder how did it happen? How did he get up? Because it's not an easy thing for a black man to rise up to anything. You was black by a red tape for anything that would help you to go up. The red tape would be against you. So, and up until now, we still have that dirty problem that keep us down. I blame it more on the black race, because when it started out, it was not that way. We learned to sell each other, and that was bad. For a man handcuff his own brother and sell him for a fool, I would have to put the blame there. That should never happen. But that's what happened, and that's what get us lost and don't even know who we are. Some of us have white man name, and there is no white man blood in you, but you have the name because you had to take the slave master name. If he named Brown and he bring home 200 slave, the 200 slave have to change the name and becomes Brown. So we live in and don't even know our name. I don't believe we should be such a show-off. Pride goeth before a fall. We need to leave pride alone. Help our brother and our sister and stop abusing them from getting a chance to make it. Sometimes why we don't make it is our own color that stand at the door and block the opportunity from you to have a chance to make it. So we have been scattered, we have been enslaved, we have been beaten, we have been killed. Even now the police still putting their knees in the man's neck and kill him. Look at George Floyd. It's not new. It's an old thing. We just expect that it should have stopped and it have no end. It's like it have to go to the end of the world. But people need to wake up and know that you don't have to stand for that which is not right. We need to know our rights and seek for our rights and stand for our rights and live by our rights and teach our children what is their right and let them settle for nothing less than their rights and how they should live in this world. That is very important. People come here and live, but they really don't know how to live. They just do anything comes. But I hope we might have a way one day that we might set up a little school. If they don't get rid of us fast enough, I'd like to have a little school, and may God help me to do that, where I can sit the young down and teach them how to rise up and do business together and not to fight against each other, share the profit fairly, and the children is going to come up. So if the one that come up under my teaching, their children will be already doing good, and by the time it get to their grandchildren, they'll be doing great, and by the time it get to the great-grand, they'll be doing greater still. But we have to start from somewhere. This mess need to break. We know now The knowledge increased now. So people can check now and learn better now than back then. Because the secret is now out. Can't hold it back again. It's not just on pen and paper. You could find things through your network, through your technology, and you could do some research too and really find out who you are. Black people need to start to respect themselves and they would be better. But they think you're a low down dog. It's not true. Don't be fooled by that. We are the number one. We have the O level blood. The O stand for original. Our blood can make any nation, but not any nation. No other nation don't make black, but black can make any other nation. A black woman, a black man can get together and produce a white baby, but a white man and a white woman cannot get together and produce a black baby. I am not a prejudiced man. I agree with God that different nations should be on earth. It look good to have different roses. It make the bouquet really pretty. I'm not against in other nation. I'm just saying respect the truth. Who are we? You know what I mean? Yes. So everyone on earth should respect the truth. The black look at himself and says, if you're white, you're right. And if you're brown, you might stick around. But if you're black, stay back. That trash need to go in the garbage can. There's no such thing that the black mean back. You know, we don't have to be in the back all the time. No. Oh boy, I'm telling you. Everything you're at the bottom, you have to be the floor sweeper. You know what I mean? You have to take the dirtiest job. You have to take the job at the bottom, the cleanup. I mean, come on. We don't have to match us with the crew. We don't have to match up with the cleanup crew. No. All the nation come for us. So I don't put myself better than anyone else and better than the other nation. But why do they make us look like we are not as good as them? If there should be any best, it would have to come from the black race because they were here first. Yes. So if any best, it would have to go to them. But poor thing, we don't even know. I just get to learn. And even though I learn a little late, I still agree with Bob Marley and what Bob Marley was trying to bring out, and they got rid of him. I still want Bob's message to live on. He is dead, but the message is not dead. This message is from Bob is going to go to the end of the earth. One love.
Because he's an investigator and we don't want it done. So I want to find out after you get inspired by Bob Marley music, to find out who you really be. You know, find out the roots, where you're coming from. You know, when in time you find out that you are a Hebrew Israelite?
Oh, this was when I went over into Africa.
Okay.
Yes, this was when I went over to Africa and I going through Jerusalem and the different places and see how everything go, and then I start to learn where our land was and all that. And then I learned about the pharaohs, the king pharaohs that slave us. They were still black. They were still black, but there was a bully. The pharaoh was a bully. You know, he will put his knees in your neck.
So you found out that the people, the Israelites of the Bible, were black people?
Yes, the people that the Bible called Israelite,
yes,
and the Hebrew, that were black people.
And the Jews.
That were black people, and those people are the Jew. When you talk about real Jew, are the people that most people now today call them maroon. They have big red eyes. If you're lying, you can't even look in it straight. And they have hair like wool. And legs like brass. Who have that? The description when the Creator showed himself to Daniel, that was what he showed. Hair like wool, eyes like fire, legs like brass. That only match a black person. A black person is the one that have hair like wool and bald-headed, but it's still here. A black person is the one that have legs like brass. I mean, everything you check out of his description is what fit and the black race. So if God should really describe himself as he described it in Revelation, again, he would align up with the black race. And he says to his angel, or his son who was there with him in the creation, he said, come, let us make man in our own image. So since he had that image, the man he made was like looking like him. Looking, because he never have a father. So the only father he knew is the father creator. That was the only father he knew. So a child will more look like him father. And the father is saying him have hair like wool and big red eyes like fire and legs like brass. That only description is only in the black race. So when he made the first man, he made the first man like himself. Yes. But then the different race comes from us. But we don't know. I look at my black people that are using cream to bleach themselves, that they want to turn white because they can't stand the black color. They don't know that this is the best color. It is the number one color. It don't get bruises easy.
Stand up in the sun.
Even when you get knocked down with a 2x4, you're blacker still. You not turn red yet. You see? So when you check it out, I can't see why them no love them color. Is the toughest color on earth. It don't get scratched easy. No, it don't turn red even when it's hurt. I mean, it can stay in the sun all day and it don't get skin cancer and it don't get sunburn. Before it do that, it get blacker still. But we just need the knowledge. The knowledge. When we come out, the man Moses lead us out from fear of bitter bondage and bring us into a land flowing with milk and honey. Milk and honey never mean bees honey and cow milk. It means the wealth of the land, the gold mountain and the diamond mountain. You just have to mine it to get it. But it's not a one-man thing to mine. It's a crew. They wouldn't put together the unity to do that. So the other side, which is from the Esau tribe, the blue-eyed man, they come over and see it wasting, and they nice up to them and give them money, buy a drink, and they buy a drink for everybody. And when everybody drink and feel really high and really good, they put another money in the hand and say, hold this. How about you give us a chance to mine the mountain? They look at what they get and it look good, and they become security for the man, the same man that should kill them and throw them out the land. They become security for them to mine the thing, and they get rich from the mine and start building the city, and they still couldn't manage. They come back over there again to the black race and buy a drink, and when they get high and boozy, they put another money in the hand and say, hold this, I want to buy some man from you, so much I want. And the man look and say, really? Him run down him one brother and handcuff him and selling for food. And that brings us in such a nasty situation. We never get away. We never get back up out of it. So, if we would know who we really are, I think it would be easier for us to bind together and to take our country back, take our land back, take our children back, take our family back. You know what I mean? Everything that is taken away, we can get it back. But you alone, where you will go? You alone can't do nothing. If you're gonna war, get an army. Where you alone going? You know Samson, it no work. It work for Samson, but it never work for you. You need a crew. Yes. So that is what every nation is afraid of. If black people come together, they can be the most powerful thing on earth. Too powerful. I mean, Mr. Chin would not take over Mandeville like they do, because ours would know how to put together. And instead of opening shop and every little corner, you'd have put all shop money together and open supermarket with warehouse and wholesale. And when you're dead, the children don't run down to America to look for a living. They will run the business.
Yes, sir.
But the little shop, as you're dead, them Ghana embassy, them run like it. Them don't want that. It not strong enough to hold them. Mr. Chin, we need to really look into life. And even if I'm dead and don't get to do it, I need somebody. I'm laying eggs and I'm hatching little chicken that gonna come up. So when I'm dead, they're gonna take over from me and make what I'm doing work, because I know that one day I will be gone like Bob. But when they take me down, what I have left here, I'm not going to the grave with it. I'm gonna find out. I'm leaving it here now, and this is not the end. I'm gonna continue to leave it here. Yes. Not taking it to the grave.
Just couple quick questions to finish up. What is the purpose to life in your experience and understanding?
Purpose to life?
To life, yeah, man.
Well, you see, life is the greatest. It cannot compare with anything else. Life is from the Creator himself. Only him alone controller. It's so important that him don't give that into the hand of man. You know what I mean? To design life or anything like that. Life is in the power of his hand. He controls life. But in our human walk, what could we respect better than life? Life is number one. Without life, ask for life first. Seek for life first, because without life you can't make the next step. So respect life as number one. And if you can avoid it, I recommend don't take a life. And if you have to take a life, don't make it an innocent one.
And who is Jesus to you?
Who is who?
Yeshua to you.
To me, he is the man who make a sacrifice to open the door for all men. Still not all men going in, but he make a sacrifice to open the door for all men, every nation, that you can get away from your drunk, and you can get away from your mess, and you can find a way out for life. That's what he come about. That man can find a way. He is the map to life. If you follow him, you will end up into everlasting life. Yes. You will end up in a place where death don't come anymore. And that would be nice, to make it to where dying don't work here anymore. I would like to have that too.
And what does the Bible mean to you?
It's a good book, except I know they do some tampering there and make some changes there, and some, especially with the name. And the most important name, Yeshua. Them change it and put Jesus in there. But that is so rotten. The man Jesus was a wicked Obia man. If you check him out in Acts 13 from verse 6, read it down to the end, and you will see is a man there. Whoever the Bible call a sorcerer is a Obia man. The man was a sorcerer, a biggest Obia man in the land. People look up to him like God. And him come in contact with the disciples, and they rebuke him, and blindness take him. They have to lead him away by the hand. That story is there. They would never call our Savior Jesus. Jesus is not a good name. Is nobody good. No. You could have called your dog Jesus if you want. That's not his name. No, his father never gave him name Jesus. So the Christian people really need to search for the truth, because we get derailed and we get things hide from us. And thank God our eyes open up. You see what Putin says? President Putin have it out there screaming out loud and clear that the man they're talking about, Jesus, is a black man, even though he don't know the right name either, but he still know the truth. He says it's a black man. The man that they call Jesus is a black man. And I know that Putin know the truth. His men go in there and do the research for him and bring him back the truth, and he know it. Yes. So black people need to really respect themselves. That's what I can't stand. Every time in Mandeville or in any town you hear pie pie, it's never Mr. Chin shoot Mr. Chin. It's always a black man shoot down and gun down his other black brother. That I can't see it. I never see the police put the handcuff on Mr. Chin and walking him down the station. Is always my black brother. Come on, can't we wake up? Can we wake? The next thing I don't like with our black people that they need to get away from, they pass Mr. Chin $1 billion business on the corner and go down the next corner and break down the little black brother business that just a try and take away what him have. Yes. I mean, I can't even understand how you don't do him that but you come to your brother that. I'm not saying you should have do that to Mr. Chin either. But if you think you have to do it, why you do it to your own?
Final question.
Yes.
Request. A message to the youths, you know. Mm-hmm. As you say, youths gone astray, them now focus on the Most High again, you know.
No.
You have a message for them.
Yes. What really happened? The youth have a problem. It's a government thing. When the youth have a problem, they make the government a problem worse for the youth. They don't try to get the youth and help him to get away from the problem. What do you think happened? Them grab him and them throw him in prison. And after him spending couple years, when him come out, they label him. Him have a record. Everywhere him go to get a job, as them put him name in, him pop up on the screen. No, we can't use him. Him is an ex-prisoner. Afraid I no hire him. You know what happened? After so long of trying, and the poor fellow can't get a job, he end up back worse and deeper than he was. And some of them went to prison. When they go to prison, it was the worst thing the government do. That's where they learn how to become bad. They find man that is so much more experienced than them in the criminal system that teaches them. So when he come out from prison, that's when him really can croak. That's when him learn. So it's not even the right thing to do. It's to find a way. Is either I'm going to get you out or I'm going to get rid of you. one of them. If I can't get you away from that, then I'm gonna have to get rid of you. So make up your mind. You're gonna have to get your help. If you're sick, I'll get you medicine. You know what I mean? Whatever it takes to help you. But you have to realize that without the medicine, you're gonna die. So take the medicine and live. I assure you how not to do that anymore. Yeah, but they don't do that. They make it worse. Oh God, he make one mistake, and from that one mistake, never a chance to rise. That worse if he's black. Worse if he's black. Yes, especially in America, you black and you do something wrong. That's it. You're over. You're history. You're done. Everywhere you go, you're black. I mean, so how would he rise? He can't. He can't. Never get a second chance. Yeah. So that's where it comes from. It had to be a way to help those that get in trouble and make a mistake. You don't push them down further in the pit because they fall. You know what I mean? So there's a lot to straighten out. I'm telling you, our world have a lot to straighten out, brother. There's a lot to straighten out, and it's not easy. The bend is so big that maybe you have to put a welding torch on it to heat it to straighten it. That's how deep the bend is. I don't know how, but I tell you what, I will do my best to see what I can do. What I would like to see my black people do, and that is the only way out, is to come together, cut out the Obia man, cut him out, cut the Obia man out, forget him, cut him off and make the business dry up. Everybody should have stopped with Obia man until them close the door. Yes, dry it up. Use the money where you can go give Obia man. Put together and build business together. Have an agreement how you share the profit, and share the profit in a fair way. And you don't have to fight. Just share the profit right. And you can do business together, and you could own Home Depot like the American white. You could own Walmart like the American white, where you have them on every corner in every town. But you alone can't do that. But we together can do anything we want to do. We could do it together. Don't bet me. If we get together, you will lose. You can bet me by myself, but if I put a team together, I bet you I'll overthrow and I'll win and I'll come out on top. That's what everybody is afraid of. They don't want a union. Yes, they're afraid of it. But one day, I hope to God I'll see it before I'm gone, before my eyes close. I would love to see that. It would make me die in peace. It will let me die saying, yes, Papa, we're coming. Yeah.
Thanks for the interview, man.
Yes, good man.
I don't know if you don't mind blow the horn there.
You want me to blow you down?
All right.
Blow them up, have a boom for them. Hear that? Let me get it. Hold on until me catch it, right? it's like you're running me out of here. I'm still learning how to blow this thing. I'm not as good as them over there in Africa.
Powerful, man. The first me I hear it blow like that.
Really?
So.
You never hear it blow before?
Not like that, no, man.
Me try that.
Hold on. The one you blow shot, I want like up to that.
Powerful.
She have two steer.
Yo, and she have the cold one. Little chill. Respect, man, powerful. Alright, everybody, man, powerful interview, you know. Give thanks for the fire. See you next time. One perfect love. Blessings.